Hello and welcome to Let's Get Growing. It's Jo here, the educational gardener from Bulwell Forest Garden in Nottingham. And here we are at the start of, we're in the first week of November. The clocks have gone back and we've had 2 storms already. But it's still not time to put away your gardening gloves because we've got another 2 packs for you running till the end of November. So let's get cracking, let's get growing. And so let's move on to this week's packs. And so we were talking about winter and how some species have adapted to thrive throughout the winter months. And so yeah, the example of this is spring bulbs. So very excitingly, this week's pack, you've got a mixture of lovely spring bulbs. So you've got 4 different kinds of spring bulbs here. You've got crocus, tete-a-tete daffodils, orange tulips and iris. So what we're going to do, which we have done over the last 2 winters, is do a lasagna pot. So the idea of a lasagna pot is that you build up your bulbs into layers and then you'll have a succession of flowering plants throughout a wider season, but you're going to put them all in one pot. So what I'm doing with this is I've got quite a deep pot, a biggish pot. It's nothing fancy, it's got holes in the bottom obviously. I'm using a mixture of our homemade compost. It's quite rough, but it's also got a lot of our homemade leaf mould in here as well, because bulbs really like leaf mould. You don't need to have anything with too much fertility because within the bulb is stored all the energy that the plant will need. So clever little things, aren't they? So we're going to start with our biggest bulbs first. Now we haven't got, because the tete-a-tete daffs are miniature daffodils, there's not a massive deal of difference between the tulip bulbs and the daffodil bulbs. So they can pretty much all go on the same layer, though they will flower at different times with the daffs coming up first. So the key to success with bulbs, with any bulbs really, is you're going to plant them 3 times their own depth. So if we look at the size of the pot here and we hold our daff bulb to the pot, we'll see that that is 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking to have my compost into about here, which is what I've done there. So what I'm going to do is I'll get my daffodils, my tete-a-tetes, and I should have, I think, 3 of these. So which way up are they? Pointy side up. So this is where the roots are going to grow from, this is where the shoots are going to grow up. So I'm going to put them, space them out in my pot. So I'll put them in 1, 2, 3. I always like to plant in odd numbers. For some reason nature seems to like odd numbers better than even, and they look more naturalistic that way. So we've got our 3 daffs, tete-a-tetes, and then we've got our 3 orange tulips, again pointy side up. So I'm going to put them in here. So you can see what I've done there. And then, because our next bulbs, which are the iris and crocuses, so these are the irises, the sort of beigey coloured ones, and the crocuses are rounder, they're much smaller. So if we apply the 3 times its depth, I need to put a bit more compost in here before I plant these, because if I plant them too deep they might rot. So I'll put a bit more compost in there, and I think a bit more. That's it. A bit more peat free, and then I think the bigger ones are probably the crocuses. So we've got 5 crocuses, so I'm going to put them in. These are a little bit harder to see which way up they are, but mine have started to shoot there, so that's pretty obvious. They've got a flatter base there. So again, I'm going to put these spread them out, and then I'm just going to put my 3 irises, and these will actually be the first to flower, not because of the size of them, but just because this is what time of year they flower. So they'll be the first to flower probably in about February. So that's what it looks like here. And then I'm going to, for my top there, I'm going to just use some peat-free compost because I don't want too many weeds coming from the homegrown compost. So this might keep the weeds at bay a little bit. So I'm going to fill it up, press it down, and then I put it outside so the skies will water it for me, I reckon. And then I've got my label in. So yeah, that'll be something to look forward to. And then we'll just move on and have a look at a few things from previous packs. So these were my Japanese onion sets that we did last time, and they're all starting to shoot. And they're designed for cold weather as well, and you can see roots growing under here. And then I've got my broad beans, so the aquadulture, again a plant designed for cold weather, and these are all growing well. So what I need to do with these is to put them into bigger pots. So I've got my toilet roll tubes, which are kind of starting to disintegrate. Oh wow, look at that root system. Very healthy. So I'm just going to put a little bit of compost in the bottom of my pot, and then I'll put my broad bean tube and everything in there, and the tube will just rot away. And then I'll do that with all of those. And then I wanted to show you my carrots are still going, but I've decided I'm going to harvest some of these. So let's have a look, see what we get out of here. Whew, it's not a bad one. Some of them are quite small, I might leave some in. Oh look here, I've got like a purpley coloured one. So I'm still harvesting, that's good, in November. I might leave those ones. Carrots are quite hardy if they're left in the ground. Oh, there's another one there, I'll pull that one. So I've got a nice bunch there. And finally, I just wanted to show you the land cress, which is another plant that's well adapted to winter growing conditions. In fact, it's hard to grow in the summer, is land cress. So we sowed these seeds and mine have all germinated, and there's too many plants in there. So rather than waste them, I thought what I would do is to prick some of these out into modules. So I've got a tray with 9 modules in here. I'm going to use a dibber and I'm just going to gently take some out. Use my finger and thumb, that's one plant. I've got a bit of root system there. Put it in the middle, put my compost around it. And I'll do that with a few of these and leave some in. So rather than just thin them out and pull them out and waste them, I can use them. And so next time's packs are going to be the last ones until February, until the start of February. So we will be taking a winter break over January, over December and January. So we would love to see how you're getting on. So if you've got any photos and you can send them us in the next week or two, that would be fantastic, and we could include that in our final video of the 2023. So just to end with my plant of the week, and this is this fabulous blackcurrant sage, which is still flowering. Look at it, isn't it pretty? It smells very blackcurranty. It is a kind of sage, and so hopefully what we'll be trying to do, because at the moment we'll be doing lots and lots of propagating of our perennials, so we're going to be trying to propagate some of this to include in your packs for next spring 2024. Okay, thanks very much for watching and happy growing. bye.